Okay, I think I'm live at our fair use. Okay, there's me. All right, I think everything's good now. Welcome to the stream. Good morning, Grace. I once again did not really pay attention to. I didn't really watch any streams yesterday that I can remember. VP supposedly was saying she was gonna. VP was saying she was gonna sit on a cake. I don't know if it ever happened, but that's pretty much it. After I got back from the zoo, I pretty much just watched movies for the rest of the night. What's up, TJ? So unfortunately, I don't really have any updates on anybody at all. Did I watch anybody for more than a few minutes? I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, this is we're gonna make up for missing Thursday by doing prime time today. This is episode 39. As you can see, we're back to Camp Caustic, and we're back at the Taste O Chicopee. So let's just jump right. Let's not delay the George any further. Yeah, I remember people saying that and that she did like a GoFundMe and stuff, but I haven't had a chance to chance to watch it yet. I saw they did a bunch of streams though. I got a bunch of them in my algorithm from yesterday. A lull suit. Do you think they'll act well? I don't know. I guess if you do the GoFundMe and the goal is reached, do you legally at that point do you have to use the GoFundMe money for like whatever you asked for it for? Does that make sense? Or do people just give you the money and then you can use it for whatever? I don't know. It seems like you would have to use it for the thing since it's like a charity site, right? Well, if the days that I'm not here is definitely not like that's not by my choice. So I'm on the same page with you. I don't want to delay him either. I thought that was Chris Christopherson for a second.
From Camp Caustic, located on the beautiful shores of Lake Mattawa, it's prime time with George Dorunda. Tonight, the musical group Friends. Plus,
Somehow I don't think that GoFundMe will have to do much work, knowing the people that watch Ben and Grace. If they try to use the money for something else, I'm sure someone will like document it and mail it to GoFundMe, knowing the Thorpe's luck.
visit the Taste of Chicopee.
Oh, hey, Bob Brown. So you can use the donations for anything. Okay.
3. So get ready for the most entertaining show on television.
Hi, I'm George Dorunda, and welcome to Primetime. And if you people are at home tonight watching this show, you deserve it. And right here with me, from that great band Reflection, he's assisting me in the
Oh, he got the cool guy from Reflection to come down.
kind of our guest co-host for the afternoon.
Yes, and thank you for
Jeff Janik.
Thank you for having me, and we definitely need more food. On this.
That'll be coming up later in the big program.
I'm looking forward to that.
But we're having a delightful day here at Camp Caustic, located on the beautiful shores of Lake Mattawa. And let's start off the big program. Yes, here are Friends.
Oh boy, this is so Oh my god, this music. Oh my god.
When I'm stuck with the day that's gray and lonely, I just stick on my chin and grin and say.
Yeah, this sounds like it's the soundtrack to like some really depressing movie that something terrible's happening, but that they're like playing an ironic, happy song.
Oh, the sun will come out tomorrow.
Where are they at? What's the venue here? Unfortunately, it looks like Friends has drawn more people than the entertainers. Whoops. He probably just figured it was like promoting the community or whatever. It was probably part of some event, but... They've even got like a custom display and everything. I can see why. If Daddy Warbucks had to listen to this song all the time. Oh, okay. Maybe George is trying to promote a young keyboard player. He's just trying to help out his fellow keyboardists. This is terrifying. Sounds like a Dario Argento movie soundtrack.
When I'm stuck with a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick on my
It was also a different time too, when like you film and stuff like this, nobody thought anything. Like now, people just automatically freak out if it's something with kids in it.
chin and grin and say, oh, the sun will come out tomorrow. Oh, you got to hang until tomorrow. Come one day. Tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, you're only a day away. Tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, you're only a
Whew, oh man.
Well, kids, you really
Seemed
sounded
like
great
forever.
on
Oh,
that
he's got the
hit
follow-up,
selection.
too.
And how about if we have you introduce yourselves first?
John Kellermakis.
And,
Lindsay Casey.
and,
Rebecca Maynard.
and,
Danielle Maynard.
and let's see, you're all 10 except Danielle is 8. That means your combined ages are 38. That's younger than most rock superstars.
Hey Eddie.
You realize that it takes years and years of training, and you're doing some of the material that some of these, professionals in the business today have trouble doing. Okay, what do you kids do when you're not playing music together?
Playing sports.
You like to play sports?
Yeah.
This kid's a liar. He's not going to Amherst.
Sometimes going over friends' houses.
You go over friends' houses.
Yeah.
You bring your drums when you go over friends' houses?
No. Playing with my cousins when we have time.
Now, John, do you realize you're the luckiest guy in the world? You get to associate, and you're in the music business with 3 beautiful young ladies?
I don't know. It's just like regular people.
Well, they are regular people.
What a humble rock star this kid is.
But John, don't you realize you've got the best job in the world?
These two are my cousins, and
They're your cousins.
yeah, these.
Well,
these
does
two
it make a difference? They can still be like regular people. Where did you first start taking lessons on drums?
Fall City Music.
Fall City Music?
Yeah.
That's amazing, and you sound great anyway.
Thank you.
Did he just shade the guy that trained that kid to play?
Lindsay, where did you study your vocal ability? Did you take lessons, or did you just start singing around the house?
I started singing around the house, then I took lessons.
And then you took lessons. And how long have you been playing keyboards?
6 years, and she's been playing for 4 years.
6 years. Now you're only 10.
Yeah, I started at 4.
Most kids are still in diapers at 4.
We play with a college professor now.
A college.
Do you remember when that was a big thing, ATF media? Are you old enough to remember when people would cut the different shit in their hair?
Teacher
Professor.
is a college professor.
You're only 10 years old and you go to college?
No, I our teacher is a college professor.
Your teacher's a college professor.
Yeah,
And is he teaching you a lot more than you learned at Falsetti's?
it's a she.
It's a she. Well, how was I supposed to know that until you told me? So are you learning a lot more now? Is this something you want to do for careers? Do you want to keep this band going and you're going to go out on the road?
Good luck with
Huh,
that.
John?
Can somebody look up and see whatever happened to this
So I
band? Did they
understand
end
you
up
kids
making
were
it?
in it wasn't a statewide competition. There were 4 states involved. There was like all of New England.
Is this
and you
Fleetwood
won
Mac?
first place in
Did
this
they grow up to be
competition.
Fleetwood
Yes.
And what pieces did you perform?
How am I supposed to live without you? And love is a wonderful thing.
And were the other kids just as old as you were?
No, they're older.
They were older. They were real old, like high school kids, right?
Yes.
And you beat them out.
Yes.
I understand Mike, who's running camera, his friends were in that same contest, and you beat them out.
You beat Mike's
And they're
friends,
real
damn.
old. They're like 16 or 17. Or what was this contest? Up to 16?
Up to 16 and then seniors.
And how good do you think you're going to be when you're in high school?
Well, there you go.
I don't know.
You think one of the fathers paid him? I wonder if Mike didn't go to him and be like, hey, his friends are probably like Center Stage or some band like that. And they was like, hey, man, this band beats Center Stage and a whatever. And then he's like, well, we got to bring him in. And then it's like kids.
You think you'll be beating like real old people in contests?
We
Like
wish.
college kids?
We wish.
Is it?
Hold on, Ananje, do you think this is similar to like, remember Rebecca Black? Her dad paid all that money to make that Friday music video, and then, you know, kind of more or less force of willed her into a semi-successful music career. But I wonder if the dad, back in the day, you couldn't have somebody make a YouTube video for your kids' music, so you just had to get somebody like Dorunda.
Different learning classical music as opposed to rock and roll and pop music?
Yeah.
What's different about it?
It's harder.
Classical music is hard.
Bob Brown, ATF Media, was simply stating that she was a member of the last Olympics, what do they call, table tennis team.
Harder? Why is it harder?
That's what they call it, right? And they don't call it ping. Do they call it ping pong in the Olympics, or do they call it table tennis at the Olympic level?
Do you have to practice a lot more in classical music?
Usually.
I understand you.
The Little Mermaid, believe it or not, is the simulation sending us a reminder that we're better off watching Dorunda than listening to Keemstar fantasize about being with Ariel the Mermaid, aka Lynx.
Did a concert? Was it a concert over at Westfield State?
Yes. For all the first place
Hey,
winners
Backwoods Squatch.
at the contest.
Okay, you did a concert over at Westfield State. Were there a
Yeah.
lot of college students there, music students?
Not really.
Do you think the person at Supercuts was like, this kid wants lines in the side of his hair? I'm just gonna completely destroy his bangs.
No, not really. Well, who was in attendance?
Hey, Backwoods Squatch.
It's winners and their parents
All the first place winners and their parents
and their relatives.
and their relatives
Friends.
and friends and neighbors. Now, you all won also your own individual competitions. Now, did you pair off for these other competitions?
Yes.
Okay, who performed with who?
I was
That
with
Chinese
Danielle.
table
Yes.
ball game.
And what did you
Ball
perform?
game?
Me and Danielle performed Dreams to Dreams.
And
We performed Misty.
Misty. Well, I understand you've been performing all over the area. You've performed, let's see, at the Taste of Chicopee?
Yes.
And were there a lot of people there?
Yes.
Oh, there you
Did they like
go.
the music?
Yes.
Okay, one of the other segments on here is Taste of Chicopee. So he must have seen them perform at Taste of Chicopee and been like, he probably recorded them at Taste of Chicopee and then talked to him then about the follow-up. So it's proximity and opportunity, and George isn't gonna let the content go.
And were you better than the other bands that were playing?
Yes.
Do you think you would have beat them in the contest?
Yes.
And who else was there?
I remember the eyebrow lines. What's up,
The
Joe?
Crescents. Well, you guys are clearly better than the Crescents, right? You probably practice more than the Crescents. And you started playing earlier than the Crescents?
There was an Irish band.
There was an Irish. These two guys in an
Yeah.
Irish band?
There was a clown band. There's these
The-
a couple clowns.
Yeah, but clowns aren't real people, right?
No.
Besides, you got to be careful with those clowns. You never know where a clown has been. Do you want to send a tape to Ed McMahon, Star Search?
Yes.
Do you think you're going to send this version of Primetime?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, remember Star Search?
Well,
wonder
kids,
if we could
thanks
watch
for
that
being
on
on Primetime. And I've never met a
Do I
nicer
know
bunch
someone
of
who was on
friends.
Star Search?
Thank you. Thank you.
I feel like I know somebody who was on Star Search, but I can't remember who they are. Can't remember who.
And you're welcome back to the program anytime. Next time, you'll have to try and be a little more talkative, though. I think the second time will be easier, right?
Yes. 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 Yes.
And
We'll be back with more prime
Anti-clown statements.
time after
I know a clown. I bet I could get a clown interview.
this.
yes!
What would you guys like if I did a sit-down interview with a Christian clown?
You know, Piggy, everybody's trying to save energy. What can we do?
Don't waste electricity.
You can make a difference. Write National Wildlife
Oh,
Federation,
yeah, is that where-
Washington,
that's
D.C.
where Sinbad came from?
20036.
Stroke!
I'm sure the music in Star Search would come back like claimed, but I don't know. I would just have to. We'll do at like the end of a stream sometime. We'll watch if I can find one. We'll watch a Star Search and see what happens.
Stroke!
You're working me too hard. You're working me way too hard with this show.
I know, there's too much pressure doing Primetime. You know,
I actually did. There's a spot at the library. They got a bunch of new like mid-century modern furniture in there when they did like the overhaul. There's some great like little interview nooks. I could see if she would do an interview.
once again here at Primetime, we aim to prove that if there's fine food around, we'll find it. And
you know what? In true Dorunda fashion, she's also she doesn't. I mean, in her real life, when she's not a clown, she does dog breeding. So we could probably do like a 2-for-1. You get a clown interview and get an inside look at. I think she's a Chihuahua breeder. I want to say.
as always, we don't expect to pay for it. Hey, let's visit the Taste of Chicopee 3.
I need food.
You know, we can have fun at the Taste of Chicopee even in the
look at this
rain
guy. It's
because
me,
there's
Mario.
plenty of food to eat. We're here with Rick from Giovanni's. Rick,
Glad to meet you, Nick.
welcome back to the program. We had you here last year.
Yes, sir.
Giovanni's up on Memorial Drive.
Giovanni's, 1885 Memorial Drive.
Now,
Yep.
what did you bring back to the Taste of Chicopee?
We brought back the
She could tell us. She's got some really good stories. A friend of mine that was, he was like developmentally disabled. He always wanted. He had like a dream of getting a tattoo, but like his mom would never let him get it because he would like, He was changing his mind all the time on like what he liked and stuff like that. And this clown lady gave him like instead of doing face painting on him, did the tattoo painted on his arm, and like he was like over the moon about it. So I think she would sit down, especially because she's got like just decades and decades of like stories and experiences.
meatballs and the garlic bread. You had the meatballs last year.
I had
Now,
meatballs last year.
I figure you're due for some garlic bread.
I'm off the diet.
You all
Let's
right?
do garlic bread.
Off
Do we
the
have
diet,
some
guys.
garlic bread here?
We got plenty of garlic bread. Okay,
Hey.
here we go. Got a nice garlic spread, nice butter with the garlic and parsley
Hey George, hold on. Let me get this bucket of garlic spread.
in there. Your basic ingredients. How many you want? For everybody or just you?
For everybody.
For
but
everybody.
I'm the most important.
Well, you're the star. We'll go with you. Okay, here we go. We'll toast it in there.
This
Doesn't
is what Shane Douglas does now.
take long.
No,
10
how long will it
seconds.
take?
About 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
10 seconds. Check your watch. You'll have garlic bread.
And you're not even nuking it.
That's right. That's a nice 500-watt toaster oven. That does the job very nicely. We
Fresh
tell- no, we
Giovanni's is it really still open, ATF Media? That's kind of not surprising. I feel like if you can get a really good like community like family Italian restaurant, you could really make a run with it.
do have meatballs too.
Do you want me to talk to? I can get an interview. I can try to get an interview with a family that I know that runs an Italian restaurant.
You know, got a nice sauce
It's gonna be a
with
busy
the garlic
summer.
bread. The garlic butter is very good. You're gonna
I
like
did
that.
those. Those were excellent. I did
You
those
did
last year.
All right. Another 5 seconds.
I could
Another
go for
5
that
seconds.
garlic
Hey,
bread,
hey,
though.
hey,
Don't
hey.
be timing me.
Garlic bread.
10 seconds, right?
Breakfast food. What time is it? 12:30. It's time for lunch.
Well, you could have breakfast food, garlic bread.
That's right. Anytime.
Garlic bread meatballs for
That's
breakfast.
right. Any time of the day.
I do all the time.
You do? You like to eat. I know that.
Garlic pancakes.
I really
by the
like
way-
this
by the way,
segment
about that.
because we're like, I like the idea that we're seeing, like, we're just hanging out while the bread gets made. I think 90% of people would cut this out, but I love that George left it in because I would absolutely leave it in.
Who invented garlic bread?
Who invented the Italians? I'm sure had something to do with it. I'm not
Who
for sure
invented garlic
positive on
bread?
that, but I'm sure Italy was right there growing garlic in the early days.
You think it was
I
the
hope so.
Italians?
I'm gonna look it up when I get home. I know it's
Okay, you better find out for next.
It's kind of funny that all these businesses, yeah. I think somebody said even that, like, the Janik brothers are still doing music. Wonder if it's just because, like, if you can set down those big roots and you can afford to not, like, sell out to, I don't know, what do they call them? Private equity firms, and you really do build, like, community there, and you got good shit.
Year.
okay. This is gonna be hot. Might have to let it actually cool down before you.
Here we go. I wouldn't wait
Okay.
for that to cool down.
That is
I'd go
gonna be
right
fun.
into
Okay,
it.
here we go.
Okay.
Nice, fresh garlic bread.
Nice garlic bread from
You
Giovanni's.
can't get it any fresher than this.
No, that's right out of the oven.
Yes, we're here at Partners booth here at the Big Taste O Chickabee 3, and we're talking to
Mark Tansey.
Mark.
How do you
nice
do?
to meet you. I only have one complaint. Are you the owner?
Yes, I am.
I have one complaint.
Uh-oh.
Last year, I was viciously attacked by one of your employees with a can of whipped cream.
I think the spout on the whipped cream, something was wrong with it. She didn't do it intentionally,
Oh, okay.
but she no longer works for us.
I wonder why. And what are we going to cook up for ourselves
Today,
here?
I don't think I'm going to do it. You're going to do it. You're going to make a Belgian waffle today.
You think I can?
I don't know if it's like this where any of you guys are, but there are some people who are, like, so rabid for, like, buy local that they will, like, prop up a shit business just because it's locally owned. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's yeah. I think the whole buy local thing is just, it's a dual-edged sword because people will take advantage of it, but then it is good to actually support the people. So I guess just only support the people doing, like, good things.
Can handle that?
I don't know. Don't get
Or
angry
at least Kino things.
on you because I'll have to fire myself. All right?
Good deal.
right.
Okay, what do I do here?
You take a ladle full of our special sauce from
Like that popcorn shop we went into, they put, like, it used to be like they would fully coat the popcorn and the toppings, and then it got, like, scaled back to, like, 3/4 and half, and now it's like between half and a quarter. Like, they just, you know what I mean? But you can't say anything about it. I mean, you can't, obviously you can, but, like, societally, you're not supposed to say anything about it, or, like, you know, the buy local people will come out and be like, oh, why don't you go buy from Orville Redenbacher or something like that. But it's like the popcorn is mediocre. Like, it's not as good as it used to be. Like, you can look at it.
A
and tell.
ladle full of the special
Yes,
sauce.
you got to have a special ladle too.
Ah,
Right over to here.
right over to
That's
here.
it. Look at that. Good job.
Hey, there it is.
Don't try this at home. You have to come to Partners. Okay, now you bring the top down
Bring the top down.
and give it a roll over if you can.
One
That's
roll
it.
over.
Yeah, you got it. Right there. There, and the magic.
Oh, man.
It'll be done in about 5 minutes, I think.
This is so, do you think he'll stand here for 5 minutes? That would be impressive. But I do like this approach better than when he just walks up and it's, like, prepared and he just gets handed it. Like, it's neat to see some of the process involved, at least.
Well, we can't wait that long.
Okay.
We'll run out of tape.
Okay, well, through the
Oh, there
magic
we
of
go. You don't have to
TV.
wait.
Through the
Five.
magic of TV,
Yes.
it's prime time.
And here we have it. A gorgeous Belgian waffle.
A gorgeous Belgian. Look at that.
Uh-oh. You like fresh strawberries on yours?
Of course. Now we take the fresh
All right,
strawberries.
and I'm going to put a little right on top of it for you.
Ah, look at that. Look at that right there.
Barely a sense of community. Well, we're your community now, TJ. We're your family now. Watch how much whipped cream he wants on this thing. I would love to do an interview where you just had 5 minutes of dead air and you just had to, like, fill it no matter what. That'd be great.
And we have a new whipped cream company.
A new whipped
The
cream company.
nozzles are all right on these.
There will be no accidents
No
this
accidents.
year.
I don't think.
I don't think that's enough whipped cream.
No, a little more? Sure. Let's see here. What do you...
That's better.
Okay.
Isn't that more fitting? It gets better every year, folks. How much food can you have in the rain at the Big Taste of Chicopee 333? More fun than any human should be allowed to have. We're here at John's booth. John's over on Front Street, Chicopee, right?
John's Pizzeria and Restaurant, 424 Front Street.
And you are?
Jenny?
And?
Michelle.
And what do you have for me to sample here?
We've got pizzas and cannolis.
Pizzas and cannolis. What variety of pizza is this?
Just cheese?
Yes, getting high and watching content and talking shit. That's the entire setup. That was a lot, but I feel like it was a pretty normal amount for George. He is off his diet, by the way. Only 800 people in your town. Your brother-in-law's banned from every one of them? Wow. Including
Being a pizza expert, just cheese.
Yes.
Of course, you have more.
I don't think I'm banned from anywhere, but there are definitely places that if I went there, like the people that own the business or who work at the business probably wouldn't be happy to see me. But I don't think I'm like outright banned.
Varieties than that over at the restaurant.
Over at the restaurant, we can make a pizza, whatever you want on it.
All right, let's try some pizza here.
If he praises this pizza, so help me God, man, after he shit all over that guy that made him 27 pizzas.
Now you mentioned something about cannolis.
Oh.
Yeah, we got cannoli.
Have we found out what, well, I guess the garlic bread he kind of gave an over-exaggerated reaction to, but he's not saying anything about the food.
Cannolis for you to try, George. Best cannolis there are.
Now, who made the cannolis?
They're made by us here.
Well, who exactly made the cannolis?
You can talk to the cannoli party.
The cannoli department, right? And what are the secret ingredients of the cannoli?
It's an Italian secret.
Hey! No coaching here.
Banned from the boys club in Bay City. That sounds like the beginning of
Try it, you might like it.
It's an Italian secret handed down from
80s side-scrolling beat-em-up game.
generation to generation to generation. Ending with this generation? No.
I'm not sure on the cutaways, to be honest, unless he's just trying to give a little spice before he like switches camera or like takes the bite or whatever.
Keeps going on.
Okay, Mr. Cannoli.
He definitely did. I mean, I think he said a couple times that he's off of his diet, and he's definitely. But really, can you blame him? It's the taste of Chicopee. What if he's on his diet the rest of the year and he just wants, you know what I mean? It's got to be tough for George to be such a food-minded person, but then I guess though he was able to eventually kind of find his way because he got into the health food stuff.
Yes, we're here, the Big Taste of Chicopee 3. It's raining, and we're here with the friendliest guy at the Taste, right?
This is the friendliest booth at the Taste of Chicopee.
And you're Mark.
I am Mark.
And you're a singer.
I'm a singer.
And a dancer.
I'll do that for money.
Almost anything for money.
That's right.
And what do we have to sample? We can look on the Big Friendlies billboard and just pick one, right?
This is the best booth to work at the Taste of Chicopee. Not only do we have the most varieties available, but it's also the easiest to hand out snack cups to everyone that enjoys ice cream and be entertained at the same time in front of the entertainment tent. It's been a
Now, you don't have any of that yogurt crap, right?
Oh, no, we wouldn't.
This is really...
Oh, wow. This is kind of interesting. So George is anti-yogurt. So was yogurt was George seeing yogurt as being woke? Like this is the diet ice cream?
But what isn't yogurt anyway? Isn't it like wheat germ and disease and plastic?
I've heard rumors. Yeah.
Wheat germ, disease, and plastic. I'm surprised YoPlay didn't shut this whole show down.
Hey, I know. I'm an expert.
You've been to Ben & Jerry's, I take it.
Okay, we're going to sample here. I like chocolate, by the way. Chocolate, my favorite.
And I'm going to have the Snickers snack cup. What is that? It's pure chewing satisfaction right here.
Pure chewing satisfaction. Hey, let's sample.
Well, he's not making these, is he? These are just like, are these just pre-packaged ice creams? George just wants some more free shit.
Okay. You notice the little Snickers cup right there? Oh.
Oh, look at that, ladies.
Well, folks, you guessed it,
my
the Big
gosh,
Taste
what
of
is this?
Chicopee 3. We're here at Millie's. And this is Millie, right?
Close enough.
Close
Yeah,
enough.
I'll take Ann.
By the way, what new innovations have you made in pierogies in the 90s?
We don't mess around with the recipe. We're doing what we always did just as well as we ever did. The latest thing that we're doing is UPSing them.
You UPS them? Mm-hmm. UPS pierogies?
Sure. We have people in Louisiana are getting some this week. A lady in California calls me all the time.
Now, how do they hold up in transit?
Oh, fine. Yeah, we ship them with freezer packs and a foam cooler and corrugated. They work great.
So you're distributing worldwide?
Semi. Nationwide. How's that?
Wow.
And what do we have to sample here?
I have your favorite cabbage
My
pierogies.
favorite? With?
Cabbage.
With?
Lots of butter.
You're forgetting extra butter.
Extra butter, Bill.
Extra butter.
Forgive me,
What
it's
in
been
the
a whole
world?
year.
I know, it's been a whole year since the last Big Taste of Chicopee. Okay, cabbage with extra butter.
You got it.
Hey. Yes, a nice, warm, and cozy booth here. Bernardino's here at the Big Taste of Chicopee 3. This is your first year at the Taste, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And we're very happy to be here.
And what do you have to serve up? Hey, no laughing back there. We're not here to have fun.
We have rice with shrimp and chocolate mousse.
This is the entertainment business, not the fancy business.
Chocolate mousse.
Yes, we
You know what I think is...
If you want to make yourself laugh, go make some content with Mark Brosseau. You stay out of out of Dorunda's way.
Gonna be my favorite?
Which one?
Chocolate mousse.
Okay,
With
would you like
extra
to have
whipped cream?
one? Would you like to have one?
Sure.
Sure. Let me get you one.
Hey, Ananje, George kind of reminds me in a lot of these situations of the people who think that they're a regular, like wherever they go, and like nobody ever remembers. like they might remember who they are, but they don't know like that. People assume that like they'll just walk in and be like, "Oh, I'll take my regular, please."
The fresh one.
Whoa, we're over here now.
Let's shake this well.
You have to shake that well.
Child safe certified? No. I think that's his, I think that's the TV station. I could be wrong though.
Here we go. More cream.
More cream. More cream.
There we go.
I don't think George is high unless it's a sugar rush.
Very good for you.
It's good for you. So this is...
Yes, it is.
This is health
No
food.
calories.
It's health food.
Right.
Well, get some of the...
Well, we're here. What a wonderful taste. It's Bill Liswell, the
This is a
boss, the
weird
guy
episode.
that puts everything together here at the Taste of Chicopee. Welcome to Prime Time.
Thank you, George. Thank you.
Once again, another success.
Yes, very successful.
I can see you lost your voice a little bit.
Yes, I did, yes, but that's what happens.
And you ordered all this rain in for the last day just to help clean everything up, right?
Listen, 3 years, first time, you know?
That's not too bad. Out of 9 complete days, only 1 day of rain.
That's right.
But it's still fun. I'm proving that.
Yes, well, you know, the people are going to look at me and think I'm the biggest eater here, but that's a misconception.
Now, what's the deal here? Next year, me against Paul Sutton.
If we can work that out, yeah.
Oh.
All right, here's the challenge. Paul.
So he has a rival in the eating department, and now he's going to cut a promo on him.
If you're watching, I'm coming to get you.
All right, that's fine. We can accept that.
Now, next year, you have a special group coming in?
Yes, we have people coming back next year. And we look forward to another good year. And one other thing I'd like to mention is, I think we're the only taste that has a tent for entertainment. So rain or shine, you can still enjoy some good entertainment, including the entertainers.
Absolutely. I think we'll be back next year again.
I think you will be, yes. We can work it out, yes.
Hey, once again, a great taste. Rain or shine, you can come on down. Plenty of fun. Now, Jeff, this is show business.
This is more like hard.
Well, I think even if he just like was a little bit high, like not even high, if he was just kind of like had a little bit of a buzz going, it would like it would, which he doesn't really need to be relaxed, but most people to do this kind of stuff would need to be a little bit relaxed or it'd be super stiff. But I think it would really enhance his experience, especially the eating. I think being high definitely enhances eating.
Business to me. I mean, I'm working my butt off here, and you're just sitting there.
Or show business. Well, that's why I'm the star. That's why I cashed a big paycheck.
Row business.
And when we return,
This is Grace making Ben paddle the boat around.
we'll have another song by your friends, our friends, their friends.
God damn it. I was just telling you guys a couple weeks ago about how I found out that they had the, I could rent those paddle boats and I could go out and do a live on one. And of course, Dorunda's already filmed it.
Some people who start forest fires never
Oh,
even
that's definitely not true for me, TJ. But I'm consistently like getting high unless I'm like in a situation where I can't. But it definitely doesn't affect my high. But like I said, though, I just keep getting higher.
in the forest.
A friend's encore.
Jeff, we don't seem to be making any ground here.
I'm just not used to this. I'm more of a land person.
You have to develop the technique.
Well, you're gonna have to show me. I think don't you think out there that George should show me how to do this?
Hey, it's my show. And let's see, it's time here to perform the greatest love of all is Friends.
Get
Oh
us
my
outta
God,
here.
what? Speaking of, I saw a post on, I don't remember where I saw it at, but it was somebody went to Whitney Houston's grave, and it was like a really like, I don't know, what's the word to say to it? I don't want to say like humble, but it's just kind of like a, it's just like regular, typical like gravestone. Like you would never know just walking past that it was like Whitney Houston's grave. Might as well be walking on one leg. Okay, I see now. So they're performing inside of like a place where people are coming in to get out of the rain and eat.
Children of the future, teach them well, let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside.
Bob Brown, I can't even get George Dorunda to acknowledge me in the comments section. I don't think he's going to go along with a Where Are They Now special.
Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to. Everybody searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone who would fulfill my needs. The lonely place to be, and so I learned to depend.
Do you think like elderly people, like grandparents and stuff, or like they think this is like the best segment?
I decided long ago, never
They should have been like,
give anyone a shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I lived as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity.
is that Uriah Faber? Young Uriah Faber? I think for me, it's like a kind of like a more of like the way that it's like an amplified, like laser focused version of like the way edibles feel. I was at that place whenever we went to the nature center and I was walking around in the woods. I used to walk out there in those kind of instances, and it was always funny because for some reason it always like blew my mind that the trees looked like three-dimensional.
Children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of
Wow.
to make it
Packed house.
easier. Let the children learn.
Oh, it's raining. I forgot.
Remind us how we used to be. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I live as I believe. No matter what it takes.
Just wait, this summer there's gonna be like so many like little town and like little county things going on with all kinds of weird shit like this.
They can't take away my dignity because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest.
I mean, it's okay for being being out of the rain. I would never in my life ever like I mean, I understand that in theory I'm choosing to listen to it right now, but this is more of like a, a communal experience, but like I wouldn't fast forward through it on prime time. Like I would never want to listen to this. I would actually rather listen to the last song they sang because at least it was kind of like it was just entertainingly bad. I would listen to Reflection all the time. I would tell him too. I'd be like, this music isn't for me, kid. They're gonna start playing Raining in the Blood. Speaking of, well, I wasn't really speaking about it, but I'm gonna speak about it, about IRL. I'm working on my next one for next week, and I think it might be something that even George Dorunda would look at and be like, nah, there's no content here. There's no way it's worth going to, but I'm gonna go to it and see how it goes. I think it'll be really interesting, but we'll see. I remember that song, King Missile.
Well, Jeff, how did you enjoy your first episode in front of the camera on primetime?
Oh, not too bad. A beautiful day out here. We got a nice light variable wind and beautiful sunshine. Can't go wrong.
I see you want to be. I see you want to be a weatherman.
Well, it's
intervals of clouds and sun.
Exactly.
Stockholm
Well, I think
Syndrome
it's that
audience,
time.
yes.
Once again, federal marshals have ordered us off the air. Good night, everyone.
Oh man, federal marshals. John DeMont, executive producer. Federal marshals. Executive order was signed. Doge cut the funding for what is it? CSC. I doubt it, man. I think my favorite part of this episode was hearing him rant about yogurt. It's always funny because he's normally is able to stay pretty like central on everything, but it's always funny when you can really tell something really gets on. That might be his strongest reaction yet, calling yogurt crap and saying it's made of disease and plastic.
You know what to buy.
The library!
There's no need to shout.
The library. Know-how. No charge.
Nice. Well, oh boy, this is stressful. Episode 40. Oh my God. It's even happening at this point. Wait a minute. Go back. Okay, primetime number 40. This is very stressful. Entertainers, Kendra, oh boy, Jimmy Stirr's back, staff, and talent.
Hi, I'm Doug Locke with this very important announcement. The following may not be suitable for the very young, the very old, and those in between, and anyone else who simply appreciates good entertainment.
I don't know for sure, Backwood Squatch, but I know that this show did not air, like, if it aired weekly, they were doing reruns all the time because there's only, like, 10 to 15 episodes per year, I think. Maybe in the later years there's more. But, like, we're on episode 40, and we're closing out the third year of episodes. So they're definitely not doing them, like, super frequently. I don't think the prime. I could be wrong, but I think he's mentioned before that the show airs late at night because he's said talked multiple times about people either finding it when they wake up or like falling asleep during the evening show and then waking up during the late night show.
Neck Beach, an incredible simulation of an actual natural disaster. It's prime time with George Dorunda. Tonight, Jimmy Stirr and the Jimmy Stirr Band.
Oh no, Doug Locke.
Chicopee Health Director Richard Kendra. And the entertainers. Plus, it's staff talent night. So get ready for the most entertaining show on television.
Hi, I'm George Dorunda.
Yeah, I think more than likely he was collecting money to or he was maybe getting some of the people that were funding it or donating their time and donating whatever was just to have maybe they just got it on the air like once a month or whatever to promote the community. Because honestly, that's what this show is. Like if you live in the area, it's just a big commercial for all the local businesses and for George himself.
Dorunda, and welcome to Primetime. And what a show we have for you this evening, because in addition to all our wonderful guests, it's staff talent night.
My God, he's got on a George Dorunda. His name is above the band. Oh, wow. George Dorunda, the entertainers.
Right here on the big program. Yes, right here at Primetime, we aim to prove that we have a more talented staff.
I need that next to the Jaws hat and the Lowell Angels hat and the NCO.
For pound than any other show on television. And, well, I guess we just invite you to sit back, relax, put your feet up, get yourself something to drink. Well, actually, you should Get yourself something to drink before you put your feet up.
George does have good production values, and beyond that, he understands how to make the viewer think that he has more production value than he does. He's going to, like this, he's at a beach, whether like you consciously get it or not, it's like this is a higher value shot than it would be if he was just standing back at the sitting on the couch at his house, or some just regular location. But he does this all the time. I think like wherever he ended up going, he would find like any little off the anything little off the path thing that he could film for a few minutes at, and then you end up with like all this footage. You know what I mean? I just think George is really good about like maximizing the stuff he has access to.
And while you're up, get yourself something to eat.
Did I put in a bid for Lalo's boots? No. I consider it a museum, so I'm not paying to acquire pieces. They have to be donated, like or in-kind services.
Get yourself something to read. Well, I assume you already have something to wear. And yes, join us as we begin the big show. It's Jimmy Sturr and the Jimmy Sturr Band.
Ocean is AI. I mean, look at Tony Yeoman. All he does is put up like different cloth things behind him, but like even just having a cheap UFO thing behind him, at least it adds production value because it's like more visually dynamic and interesting. Yeah, I mean, if Primetime wasn't like a legitimately, to me anyway, like an entertaining and interesting show, and especially as like somebody who is fascinated by the people who make content like this, like there's no way I could sit through 40 episodes of it to yeah, this is definitely going to get claimed by Jimmy Sturr now, but like we'd have just watched like 1 or 2 episodes and got a taste of it and then like moved on. Like I think there's a lot of this is like a Rosetta Stone of content for me in a lot of ways. You've got Tito singing, Jimmy Sturr still doing nothing, but he'll plan this video. White guys can't clap. Like, I'm completely convinced Jimmy Sturr is the worst person in the band. Like, hands down. Maybe George has used all the, like, old school polka, because I think we've seen, like, 5 or 6 songs from this particular performance before, so maybe he's just down to the last couple numbers. I love that accordion guy's great. Oh, here we go. Is anybody clapping there? What's going on with this t-shirt? Is that in a different language? Is this an AI and the AI just didn't think we'd notice the t-shirt? What is that? That red. Hey, Dave's channel. Dead red. Oh, I see it now.
One more time. Put those hands together. Here we go.
Man, this guy's great. Imagine him cutting a promo on Magnum TA.
Yes, Jimmy Stir and the Jimmy Stir Band. And you know, it's something, I don't think we'll be doing too many of these beach shows. You know, we've had nothing but problems since we got here. The camera fell in the sand and our batteries have been going dead. I don't think we can get along with these beach shows. But moving right along with the big show.
George probably had like 10 minutes to run down to the beach and get these shots. And he's telling people like, oh my God, we've been filming here all day. The camera fell over. Our footage got lost. The batteries died. That's like Alex Jones. He's always like, yeah, when we were going down into the Bohemian Grove, we were approached by Secret Service, but we couldn't get any of it on film. Our camera stopped working. But like all their footage is peaceful and like their interactions are all positive with the people in the Grove. But they're like insistent that when they can't, that like the footage, the stuff they couldn't show was like really crazy.
Oh, you see, we have a lot of fine staff talent people. And we want to give everyone their due time. And some of them ought to be doing time, if you know what I mean. And hey, I guess our first staff talent member is Jeff Janik. And I guess this is his basketball Olympic audition tape. So here he is, Jeff Janik.
Oh boy, Jeff Janik. Okay, so now Jeff Janik just straight up has a commercial for himself as a basketball player in the middle of this show. Wow. Jeff Janik. What the hell?
Yes, Jeff Janik, and we'll be back with more of Staff Talent Night right after this. Maybe Jeff ought to stick to hockey.
George is scrambling, man. He lost the soul of the show. He's trying to fill it with Jeff Janik, with Doug Locke or whoever. It's just not going to work. We got to bring back Mark Brousseau or Brousseau.
When I first got my license, every time I left the house, my parents would say, remember to buckle up, dear.
Oh, the talent
I never
show.
did.
Okay.
Just didn't
I
seem
forgot
too
about
cool. Besides, most of the time I was only going around the block. You know how parents are. Always telling you what to do. But you know what? I wish I'd listened. I really do.
Yes, welcome back to the show. And our next primetime staff member is production assistant Jack Sparko, here to perform something called the Peppy Polka.
Well, and also the fact that he put his name above the band, that's very rare. Like you don't see that a lot.
Ready? On two.
See, like I always say, if this had been in the guy's living room, who cares? But he's in the middle of the woods playing harmonica into this clown nose microphone. 10 times better. Jack Sparkle. What in the world? Oh, boy. Fantastic, Jack.
Yes, Jack Sparkle. And this, of course, answers the question, is there entertainment in hell? And my next guest on the program is the most famous...
Whoa, wait a minute, what? Wait a minute, what?
Health director in the country. Yes, it's a pleasure to welcome to Primetime Chicopee Health Director Richard Kendra. Well, Richie, welcome to the big program.
It's a pleasure being here.
Pleasure
George.
to have you on Primetime. I understand you have a slogan.
It may become popular for other health directors in the state and the country. I always felt something like Richard Kendra is my name and public health is my game.
Dynamite.
Wow.
And speaking of public health, we're here at the famous Hukilau restaurant and in front of their salad bar. I understand though.
Do you think that, again, I still think you have to be, you can't be an entirely selfish person to do a show like this, because I think George knows deep down it's much like Primetime is not going to be a vehicle to actually launch a lot of, like, you know what I mean? Like, launch a lot of careers. I don't know that it's going to launch, like, George's career, but I wonder if after 40 episodes, maybe he's just, like, frustrated with, like, his growth level or something. That was a really out-of-pocket, very out-of-character comment for George. Like, are we seeing is that the real George? And the rest of the time we're seeing, like, the character of, like, George Dorunda that hosts Primetime? That was a really mean comment.
With the popularity of these self-serve salad bars and food bars, these can pose potential health problems.
Yeah, George, the public takes...
Hey, can I meet with the health inspector and we'll just sit down here in front of the all-you-can-eat buffet?
These things for granted, but there are a lot of precautions that have to be taken. The proper
They're great deals. I mean, you can't beat them.
Oh, and they're healthy. It's a good way to eat your lunch, really. But temperatures are important when you get to a salad bar situation. All of this stuff has to be kept at under 45 degrees Fahrenheit to prevent any bacterial growth. And the other precautions of using utensils with long handles that are stored directly in the food that's being served, and also the sneeze guards that you see up there for people that may inadvertently cough or sneeze and contaminate the food. These regulations were passed in about 1986. That's when salad bars really started getting very popular. And we found that there were a lot of things that had to be addressed, especially the idea of getting a dish and not going back to the salad bar with the same dish.
Now, I see that done more and more. And, you know, I've talked with...
I'm going to post this clip as a 90s ASMR buffet etiquette.
Managers of restaurants who have argued with me that if you want to take a clean plate, you can, but you don't have to.
Well, if you run into a situation like that where a manager isn't aware, he should be, that you're not supposed to use the same plate, I would contact the health department and report that incident so that they could at least take a look at the situation.
So if any of the people at home see anything that looks not kosher, call the local health department.
We'd be glad to respond to your complaint.
So in addition to taking clean plates, does this apply at beverage bars where you can go back and get the same beverage filled
Well, there's a
with
little
soda?
change there. Usually beverages, the law provides that you can use the same glass if you're getting another cup of coffee or another glass of soda. It doesn't apply to the plate situation where you're picking up the actual food.
Now, what types of diseases are we talking about?
You've got Shigella, Salmonella, hepatitis. there are a number of foodborne diseases that can be transmitted
George should ask this guy if yogurt is made out of disease.
through improper use of a situation like this, a food preparation, a food serving area. Most of these places that have salad bars usually have a supervisory person usually watching so that things that shouldn't happen don't happen. Children putting their hands into the salad and taking it out.
Now, is there something about children being unattended at these food bars? Is there a law pertaining to that?
We really don't have a law that says you have to keep your child restrained, and it's difficult to keep children away from something that looks as delicious as a fruit salad bar right here. But I think most people take that precaution and watch their kids so that they don't contaminate food. And we hope that they do. And if they don't, I'd like them to take a tip from me and say, watch your children
I'm not sure, south to west.
when you're handling
I was
food
wondering the same.
so that they don't contaminate anything. And that goes for the grown-ups.
It must be something, because I feel like the rest of the episode sounded okay. It must have just been this particular tape.
Too natural.
Something that's like father, like son.
Yes. In some instances, that's the way it is. You learn things at home and you carry them over to
You never
public
seen a
places
salad bar
and,
cop?
Well, that's the
You
problem.
can't do the
When
same
you're in
things.
a restaurant, you're not at home. You don't put your feet up on the table.
Right. And you don't all pitch in and grab a little bit of salad with your hands. With your
Being a salad bar cop would be cool. You just walk up to people that are like eating at the table, fucking flip their plate over.
sitting there with your kids, which still isn't the thing to do, but you may be able to get away with that at home. But you can't get away with it in a public place, a public restaurant.
Because what's important is public health.
Public health, number one. Like I said, that's my game.
Now, is it a law that the restaurant is supposed to notify the patron to use a clean plate?
Yes, and usually signs are posted indicating that you should take a new plate when you go back for a second helping or a third helping, whatever.
But the bottom line is the responsibility of the restaurant.
It is the responsibility of the restaurant to provide that direction. And like I said, they usually have an advisory person watching the area to tell people if some.
I mean, basically, all that amounts to is just all he's talking about, I think, is just putting like a plastic sign or a paper sign above the like place where you get the plates that says like, please take a new plate with each trip or something like that. I don't know why there's so much discussion about it.
Some people can't read, George. You know, so you have to take that into consideration, and you have to explain to them that we'd like you to do it this way because the health department likes it that way.
How many states have this type of legislation?
I'm not sure. I know Massachusetts is pretty upfront when it comes to public health regulations. We've got a good state health department that promulgates some good health regulations when any kind of a situation comes up. And when the salad bar situation came up, we did get regulations very quickly so that we'd have something to follow to prevent the transmission of disease, which is what we're here for.
But basically, for the folks at home, it's just common sense.
It is.
Would you want to go to your neighbor's house and eat off of his plates?
You're right, but there are a lot of people that aren't commonsensical. They're
that's
comic-sensical, and in some instances do the things that we were talking about that you shouldn't do. You know, having a cigarette.
Dude, somebody watched this at home and was like, you know what? That motherfucker ain't gonna tell me I gotta use a clean plate. I'm voting his ass out.
Your hand and then going and picking something up. You're touching your mouth and then you're handling food. You're contaminating that food.
Yeah, George is the kind of guy who would make a Facebook post that claimed that like he got lectured by a Gen Z cashier at a self-check for double bagging his groceries, and when he pointed out, you know, that if he pointed out like, you know, that, you know, if they had paper bags it'd be easier, the entire store like broke out in applause.
And that's another thing I should maybe bring up. It's an aside, but
I'm too high to remember how that
people
story
think that there are regulations about no smoking in a food preparation area. It's not so much that the ashes are going to get into the food, which are basically probably harmless. They're inert. They're burned. It's the fact that they do put their hand up to their mouth with their cigarette. They touch their mouth and then they may handle food. This is where the transmission of disease organisms comes in.
So that's why there really should be no smoking.
Should we tell Ben and Grace that the Chicopee health director is saying that you shouldn't share cigarettes and eat off the same plates?
No smoking.
No smoking.
Is that why?
food
Is that why
service.
Grace is always having health issues?
Especially in an area like a salad bar,
where you have exposed food,
or a buffet type thing where food is exposed and people are coming in contact with it directly.
So as tempting
And
as it
yogurt,
might be,
south to west.
don't stick your head under the sneeze guard and try and
It's not
smell
like
the
when
vegetables.
Mama
and-
makes a nice cake at home and you put your finger in the frosting and try it. Well, you can get away with that, but we don't like that in the restaurant.
The sneeze guard thing is fascinating to me because if you're standing next to somebody and they sneeze up at the thing, like, are you gonna still like? Is that how much confidence do you have in the sneeze guard?
There are other people that are going to handle that same food. And if you think about it for a few minutes, it all does make sense. So your comment about common sense is correct.
So let's recap for the folks at home.
Well,
What are the main guidelines?
Number one, when you go to a salad bar, a lot of people feel that they get a plate, they finish their salad or whatever they're having, and they feel that they should go back with their plate because they don't want to dirty more dishes. Well, we don't feel that way. Remember,
Number one,
dishes are there. We have plenty of clean dishes. Replace your old dish with a new dish. That way, drippings from the old dish can't go into the food and contaminate it. This is the reason for the new plate. And that's the number one item, I think. Number two, I shouldn't give them priority either, George, because they're all important.
Remember when Lalo felt some drippings from another plate?
Number two, the temperature of the salad bar is maintained below 45 degrees. That's important. That's something you can check, but the restaurateur usually makes sure that that happens, and the inspectors that come in do take temperatures. So that's taken care of by us. Number three, you have the sneeze guard. If you don't see a sneeze guard when you go to a salad bar, report it to your health department. And also ask the proprietor of that restaurant why they don't
That's
have
right.
one.
You're not making trouble.
No.
You're trying to prevent.
You're doing your part to prevent the spread of disease, really. And the sneeze guard is also another important item. And like I said, I can't give priority to each one of these because they're all equally important. Everything is put there for your health protection. Public health is my game.
Well, Richie, thanks for being here again. You're always welcome on the show.
It was a pleasure, George, and I congratulate you on being a good civilly dedicated television personality. You've taken an interest in something that the public should be aware of.
I sound so successful listening to you.
And I'm happy. There should be more people like you out there.
Absolutely.
Well, hopefully the people have learned something, and we can keep these great salad bars and food bars going for a long time.
That's all right with me.
Are you ready to eat?
That sounds like a good idea.
I don't think I think to me, all of the regulations end up boiling down to the fact that whoever owns the place would absolutely, in 90% of the opportunities, like, just completely, cut every possible corner.
I'm ready. Hey, stick around. We'll be back with more of the big program right after this.
Must wipe.
We pledged our allegiance to it when we were young. We studied its importance when we were in our teens. We sing its praises at every sporting event. We display it when we celebrate, lower it when we mourn, and honor our heroes with it when they've fallen.
It's going to be a great summer.
It stands for what we are and what we believe in.
I guarantee you.
How we treat.
It's going to be a weird summer. The content is going to be incredible from everybody. I hope it's not a commentary summer for all of our favorite YouTubers.
It says a lot about us.
Yes, welcome back to Staff Talent Night here on Primetime. It's like a show within a show. And our next Primetime staff member doesn't limit his talents to video production. No. Here to perform.
George was even doing boy talent shows in 1992.
The Rose on keyboard is the multi-talented Mike Zaski.
Mike Sasquatch. He's playing this song under Courtney Thorpe's window back in the day. This is an unbelievable song choice, man. I'm blown away by it. That's Boyd, man.
That was just beautiful. Mike Zaski. That was incredibly beautiful. And moving right along here on Staff Talent Night, our next staff participant is our newest addition to the Primetime staff. And here, I guess he's gonna dance to something. He's an actor, he's a singer, and he's seen the movie Batman Returns more than anyone else that we know of. And let's see, what's he gonna dance to? What are you gonna dance to, Doug?
You!
No, I'm not playing for...
I saw Batman Returns at a theater a few years ago, and it was at a little art house theater, and it was playing with that musical, The Umbrellas of Cherbourg, and they didn't have enough room for the title, all the titles on the marquee, so it just said Batman Returns, and then underneath of that, Umbrellas.
For this, so what are you dancing to?
Paula Abdul!
Oh, Paula Abdul's you. Okay, here to dance to you, for you, is Doug Locke.
I don't know that all of it is filmed in Western Massachusetts. I know he travels around New England. He's been to some other states. I know he went to New Haven, or he was in Connecticut. I think he's been in went to Vermont maybe. I could be wrong. I don't know. I mean, this seems like if this is going to be like a regular guy moving forward, George isn't going to want to share the show with some. If you remember, that's what caused it seemed like it caused the falling out with Mark, was that once Mark started being on screen and being in like skits and stuff and started getting a little bit of attention, then George cut him loose. This guy seems like a real attention whore. Different school.
You.
Doug! Yes, that was wonderful. That was impressive. What, Doug, what, you're not answering. Why are you so out of breath?
Look what I just did!
I mean, well, I watched you and I'm not out of breath. All right, take a rest, Doug. Hey, stick around. We'll be back with more of the big program and the most talented primetime staff member right after this. Hold on to something.
Yeah, I think we know who George is going to say the most talented staff member is. On my show, it'd be like, let's welcome Gia Armani. She's going to chop some wood.
The animals in the forest. If they could talk, what would they say?
Justin Law.
They might say, Be careful with fire in the forest. Just like Smokey says, only you can prevent forest fires.
I really like that movie that he's in, Drag Me to Hell.
Yes, welcome back to the big program. And Doug, wake up, Doug. You know, yeah, that's better. You know, we do have a show to do. Yeah, as I alluded to earlier, the movie Batman Returns. Now, I haven't my own self seen that big picture, but I understand the movie opens with a shot of Pee Wee Herman. He's playing the part of Penguin's father, and he's up there on the screen. And one thing I like about that, I'd rather see him up there on the screen than sit next to me, if you know what I mean.
Wow.
Well, anyway.
Wow, George, really? Wow. This is pretty interesting. What a great joke from George, bringing up the theater masturbation of Pee Wee Herman.
You know, I am.
Did he ever meet Ben Thorpe? I don't have no idea. A South to West is in here. Ben would have been, what, 19? When when this aired in 92.
The most talented primetime staff member. After all, it is my show. So here I am to perform with my very own entertainer, something called The Walk of Life.
Yes. Have we already heard this one though? But I'm still down for it.
Singing oldies, goldies, be-bop-a-loo, baby, what I say. You go Johnny singing, I got a woman down in the toe trying to make it better. He got the action, he got the motion.
21.
Oh yeah, the boy can play. Dedication, devotion, turn.
George is what, mid-30s here, probably?
Nighttime in the day, song about a singer and a woman, which is a song about the night. When took it to the wall.
I could believe that I hallucinate most of the show. There are weird stuff, like we just find 90s talk shows like that I'd never heard of, but I like watched every 90s talk show I could find, and like weird creators that just happen to make like exactly like the strange combination of content that I like. I think they did perform it before. Or it's just exactly the kind of song they would perform, so it feels like it. George wouldn't be anybody's protege. Ben would have to have the same role he has with Grace of being the like assistant. George is a towering talent. I mean, yeah. Federal marshals are the only reason that primetime is no longer being aired. And George has actually had to go live in the forest like Ted Kaczynski and spend his days, you know, chopping down trees.
He got the action, he got the motion. Oh yeah, the boy can play. Dedication, devotion, turn on a nighttime in a day. Song about a singer and a woman, which is a song about the night. We'll
Kids going down into a sinkhole.
To the walk of life, yeah, we do the walk of life.
I don't think the Thorpes would really care for primetime as a television show, unless it just gave them some nostalgia of like places, you know, since they are from that area. Poor empty field.
Here comes Johnny singing all these goldies. Be my blue baby, what I say.
Like,
Here comes Johnny.
believe it or not, showing people stuff like Grace and Ruby and Vegan Patriot has actually, to like normal people who have no idea about YouTube and stuff like that, they've actually gotten a more positive response than the times I've sent people like clips from Primetime. Like, they just absolutely just think it's like just a shit show. Like, they don't get it at all.
Singing, I got a woman down in the tunnel trying to make it better. He got the action, he got the motion. Oh yeah, the boy can play. Dedication, devotion, turn on a nighttime in a day.
Yeah, Music Blitz. Did you know that George Dorunda actually pioneered sitting in a chair in front of the woods and just having it out with your co-star in a struggle session? But George fired his person for real.
Till we do the walk of life. We do the walk of life.
For real though, George has really made me appreciate the Hooplandia stream more than ever, because of like, now I feel so connected to the Big E now that I know it's like this huge convergence of Kino ley lines.
Well, that just about wraps it up here, and I'd like to thank all my guests, plus all the Primetime staff members who participated in Staff Talent Night right here on the big program. And one thing you can remember about this show, there were no arrests, and nobody got hurt. Hey, see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Did George just pioneer, if there's something illegal's happening, call the cops? Oh man, one day, guys. I mean, we could rewatch them forever, but I'm saying like one day we're gonna hear the last Primetime closing theme on the last first time viewing of an episode of Primetime ever. Like that's a pretty like sobering thought. We can't just watch it like this when we're at the end for the last thing, right? It can't just be a regular stream. I'll figure out something really wild we can do for the last few episodes. New Year's Eve? No, it can't take that long, can it? It'll be probably early summer, I think, when we finish. My anxiety's going through the roof now. Well, now we know the question to the answer to the age-old question: is there entertainment in hell? All right, let's watch one more. The Entertainer. Oh, shit. Did you guys see that? Carolyn Lee. Wish George would let you interview. Well, maybe one day. You never know.
Hi, Hi, I'm Doug Locke. By the time you see this, I will have completed my mission to stop George Dorunda from finding the Polish princess, and I will be on the run from the authorities. Someday, I'll be able to tell you why I did what I did. But in the meantime, please enjoy this primetime program.
Yeah, Jimmy Sturr. Zajac.
From anywhere we want to be, it's prime time with George Dorunda. Tonight, we go camping with the Polish princess Carolyn Lee, the Jimmy Sturr Band, plus the entertainers. So get ready for the most entertaining show on television.
Hi,
the movie buff police officer that made all the spots George plays.
I'm George Dorunda, and welcome to Primetime. And what a show we have for you today, because in addition to all our wonderful guests for the next half
he's at Toys R Us
hour, we're going to be looking at toys here at Toys R Us.
Oh, he's really on a Batman kick. What's his shirt say here? Anybody know?
Us in Springfield. And hey, well, let's just get the festivities underway. It's the entertainers preforming Do You Love Me?
Preforming.
Do you love me? 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 Do you love me now that I can dance, dance, dance? Watch me now, hey, work, work, go
Watch me
work
now.
it out, baby, work, work, well, you're driving me crazy, work, work, just a little bit of soul now, work. Why you mashed potato? I can mash potato. When do the twist, I can do the twist. Well, now tell me, baby.
George is having to do his own, like, what do they call it when you repeat, when the, like, your background singers are supposed to repeat the word, but George is just doing it all himself.
Tell me, baby, do you like it like this? Do you like it like this? Tell me, tell me, tell me.
Watch me now. Hey. This is such a chill version of it.
That I can dance, dance, dance. Play it, y'all.
Every time I see him putting the microphone into the playing it like that, it reminds me of that movie The Devil's Honey, where the guy plays the saxophone, like he puts it directly up against the girl's pussy and then plays it.
Well, work, work, go work it out, baby. Work, work, well, you're driving me crazy. Work, work, just a little bit of soul now, work. I can mash potato, I can mash potato. When do the twist, I can do the twist. Well, now tell me, baby, well, tell me, baby, do you like it like this? Do you like it like
I'm so delusional. I'm like, you know what? George should make those entertainer shirts. He would sell so many of them, but like he wouldn't. I don't know why I think that.
Tell me, tell me, tell me.
Watch me now. Hey.
Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me now that I can dance, dance, dance?
Yes, we're looking at toys here at Toys R Us. Let's see, Super Nintendo. They start out with Nintendo and other Nintendo varieties. Now, Super 3D's Nintendo. And hey, coming up in the big program, we have the Polish Princess Carolyn Lee, the Jimmy Sturr Band, and hey, all of this and the cost to you at home? Nothing.
Regular ticket prices. Lance Russell beat him to that one, though.
We pledged our allegiance to it when we were young. We studied its importance when we were in our teens. We sing its praises.
I think that'll have to come after South to West, just because I want to see all of it, and then I want time to, like, I need some time to reflect on it. But I'll do something big. We'll make an event of it. I'll try to figure out the way to give it the most spectacle.
At every sporting event. We display it when we celebrate, lower it when we mourn, and honor our heroes with it when they've fallen. It stands for what we are.
No way, like the terrible comedian? You'd have a good quarter of a dozen. I know, that's what I'm thinking, Joe. I'm like, oh, I know two people who might buy this shirt. Why is George passing up all this money? But really, he could, because you don't really have to. There's no upfront anymore. He could just do Redbubble or something and just put it up there and see what happened.
And what we believe in, how we treat it, says a lot about us.
So many great shirts out there.
Yes, I found something right here that my next guest can use, because...
Okay, I got you. That's the puppet. She's on there with the fucking puppet. Okay. Oh my God, what a shirt.
My next guest has been on the...
I'm like a serial killer. I need a trophy from each of these bizarre personalities.
...program many times in the past, and someday we're going to put a stop to that. It's always a pleasure to welcome back to the big program the crazy lady herself. Let's go camping with the Polish princess, Carolyn Lee. Well, Carolyn, welcome back to the program. It's a pleasure.
No way. Now we've got George in folding chairs with a makeshift table getting drunk outside an RV. Okay.
You're back, and you know, somebody told me, I heard through the
I'm going to get up
grapevine
and
that
just going to leave.
Yeah. And I didn't think it was your type to be roughing it. And now that I see you camping, I know it's not your type to be roughing it.
Well, they told me this is a Hilton on wheels. You know, I can just rough it so much, George. But there is no maid service, so.
Now, why did you get into camping?
Well, actually, as you know, I'm very happy to be back.
I thought it kind of did a Southwest. I thought it was a Latino man.
Back on your show again. And remember when I had that limousine? It was so beautiful. It was custom made for me, all white.
We took a few trips in that.
That's right, we did. Well, the thing is, my production company got so big, and I'm doing so many performances all over the country that it just was not feasible. So I used to have to rent trucks and vans, and, you know, it was ridiculous. So I decided, well, it was time to make this major purchase. And I've been looking for over a year, and there was nothing that had
She's
what I
got her
wanted.
picture on the outside,
so I said, well,
facing
as long as
outside.
I find the basic format that I like, because this is actually my office on wheels.
What's up, Stephen David?
Then
it's your office on wheels, your dressing room?
My dressing room, whatever I want it to be at the time, right? An interview house. So, I says, well, as long as I have the basics.
It's your home away from home.
It's my home away from home. And needless to say, because I live so...
It's nicer than most people's homes at home.
Well,
hey, Cody
I have
Turbo.
a very ostentatious flair about me. And as long as I found the right motorhome that had the capabilities of me dressing up a little. And I guess
well, these
ATF Media, did you know that Carolyn Lee had a 6-ton concrete horseshoe put on inside this RV to remind her of her 6-ton concrete structures at home?
This is your camping outfit. This is what an average person wears when they go out to the campground,
Do
right?
you like my camping sunglasses?
You have
See, I try to travel incognito sometimes, but I
travel
think
incognito.
it's this way. These are my camping clothes. They're a little subdued.
Hey, Randy.
But they're a little crazy for the campsite.
Now, what do these people say when you pull up to the campsites with your Hilton on wheels and you have a family of 18 in a tent?
Well, actually, you know, it's strange because I have sold more shows because of this. It's like a billboard. You know, the other side is...
Oh my God, honey, it says somebody's got keyboard and comedy artistry while we're on the highway going 70 miles an hour. Can you write that phone number down? We've got to book her. What the hell's she talking about?
Also lettered. Of course, we're going down the highway at 60 miles an hour. We don't go 75 in this. it's like people stop and they read the sign, and if we pull in somewhere, someone will come over and say, well, you know, what is this all about? So all my staff is instructed. Performance schedules and newsletters. And we've really made a lot of good contacts with this.
I can imagine, because you never know how many people you can run off the road in this thing.
And even at the campsite, I went with this a couple of weeks ago just to see if I could rough it. As long as my microwave was running and everything else.
Well, you have a menu that goes around along with the Hilton on Wheels.
Oh, yes. Did you see my menu that I made up?
Yes, I saw that earlier.
Because I like to have fun. At my stage of the game, you know, as you know, I've got 6 grandchildren, and I've sort of paid my dues. My stage of the game, I want to have fun. If I can't have fun, I just don't want to do it. So everything I try to
This lady lives the same lifestyle as the Thorpes.
do is... The menu was quite unique.
She's just traveling in an RV trying to find collabs.
I think you're quite successful at it.
You know, it was strange.
In more ways than one.
At the last campsite, by the way, what do you think of my camping crystal?
We have camping crystal here,
crystal.
yeah.
Yes, it's just not your ordinary. And my camping table.
Mm-hmm.
George,
I mean, everybody. I mean, you go to a campsite and you drag this stuff off.
Did you notice that the table completely changed? Like, they were at the little circle table, and then when George did the cutaway, it was them at a large, like, plastic square green table.
You'd be surprised the attention I attract. Well, no, you wouldn't be surprised.
Well, no, because you attract attention wherever you go. I've seen you in transit.
Well, you know, and people like from the campsite, they'd say, did you see that motorhome that's there all lettered with Carolyn Lee? You gotta go see it. Why don't you meet her? She's a lovely lady, and you know.
You think she lost her house?
Believe it or not, and you know, my mail. Ooh.
Watch the crystal.
They were like, how are we going to sell this house that has a 6-ton concrete piano barbecue and piano-shaped barbecue in the backyard?
Watch the crystal.
Donald Trump. I bought
Liberace.
As you know,
female Liberace.
You saw me putting this awning down, and it's quite a fiasco.
Yeah, I'm sure you don't do all your manual labor.
George Dorunda is out in the forest with, what's that guy's name? Chris, cutting down trees.
I don't do any of it. I mean, this is special for you today. I just, you know, I have a roadie who drives this. And,
I was wondering, do you drive this yourself
I'm not allowed.
Yeah, I think this is Carolyn's 3rd arc on the show. She was on very early, and then they did did the inside of her house. Then George came back and did the outside of her house, and now she's homeless, living in an RV, and George is covering that.
I sat behind. I have to tell you how I bought this. You know, my husband, who probably you've seen once or twice, he's totally opposite from me. We're celebrating 30 years of marriage next week, by the way, and it's the 9th wonder of the world, you know. But when I found this...
And you're number 1 through 8, right?
Yeah, probably. And when I found this, and I came home and I said, well, Roland, I finally found what I want, you know, and he, like, panics, because the last time he told me not to get the limo, I tried smuggling it home. Do you remember that? And I drove it through the garage wall, and there were holes everywhere.
Oh, yeah, don't forget about that. Don't forget that she bought a limousine, tried to hide it from her husband, and drove it through the garage.
We were having a party, and, you know. So, and I couldn't smuggle this home, so I had to tell him. So then I come home and I'm telling him about the living room and about the color scheme and about this and about that, and I can glitz it up. And
no, wait a minute. This, I'm sure, didn't come the way we see it now.
No. I wish I'd have taken pictures before and after. Oh, no. No. This was a traditional campsite motorhome. A very nice, lovely one. But now it's even more lovely.
But what are some of the changes that you made in this motorhome?
Well...
She added a big Wi-Fi booster antenna, and then she also put in some really nice Shure mics in the front to make sure that they could both be heard very clearly.
First of all, I thought I was going to be waked in it, because when I decided I was going to purchase this, of course, I couldn't smuggle this home, so I came home and told my husband, and he said to me...
I don't think we have seen the husband.
Typical male. What would you ask about this? You know, how many miles on it? I had the answer. Then he says to me, okay, what kind of a motor? So, I don't know. He says, tell me something about the engine, the motor. Well, it's got to have a motor. It's a motorhome. I mean, that was my answer to him. So he really, you know... But all I was concerned about was how I could glitz this up, right? So needless to say, I'm hoping, I'd love to take you inside for a tour a little bit later, and we can really explain some of the things I've done. I stripped the whole bedroom.
Oh,
and I
yeah,
put up
you
my
did a
kind
great
of drapes,
job.
lined, of course.
Oh, God,
The
yuck.
lights on the wall were so campish, so I put crystal sconces on the wall. We have a few more lights to change
would I
out
expect
here.
anything less?
Listen, this house was so kitschy before and campy, but now that I've put fake gold, plastic gold all over it, it's really nice.
From the Princess of Glitz.
And of course, we have
Add
and mirrored
Starlink.
walls, George.
Just like in your home.
Just like in my home. Well, again, because we use it to change costumes, we use it, the orchestra changes. This is actually like a 3-room motorhome. So, like, I can change in the back into my costumes and stuff. And the orchestra, the guys. I mean,
Where's
we're all
the
guys,
cigarette
except
maker?
My road manager, who's my future daughter-in-law and publicist. And so we use the back and they use the front. But this way, there's tons of mirrors. Nobody's in one another's way. And it's really unique.
That's what they can say about you, Carolyn. You always have plenty of mirrors.
Yeah, well, yes, that's, I don't know, but it just looks glitzier, I've invested in Windex. I bought stocks in Windex. I have a feeling just I'll raise the stocks,
Oh, Carolyn, one thing I'm impressed with you. Every time I show up, you always have a staff of photographers around.
Well, it's funny, but all these people write in and they want to get in on our mailing list, which I hope there will be a lot of them.
If someone wants to get in on your mailing list, how do they do that?
If you really want to know how I live and you really want to know what's going on
behind the scenes with the princess,
they should call 1-800-242-SHOW and speak slowly and clearly and leave their name and address. And we'll put them on a mailing list.
And if you're lucky, you might get to talk to Carolyn live.
Maybe. We don't promise that.
And we don't even charge you 95 cents a minute.
That's right. We don't charge. You just gave me a thought.
Jimmy Sturr was the one that was like humble bragging that he had bought his motor coach from somebody famous, I think. Or that it used to belong to somebody famous. It's like that Seinfeld episode, John Voight's car.
Oh, maybe.
That's scary. Talk to Carolyn for 95 cents a minute.
That's why I like doing these interviews with you because, I finally met my match. You call me the crazy lady. Well, I happen to think you're the crazy guy, and every so often you come out with something, I say, hey,
so you know me.
Match that. Yeah, I can pick up on that.
It's like
idea.
we're trying to match each other.
I know, yeah.
Now, your motorhome, from the brief glimpse I saw of it, I mean, you have your places that you store your
wow. Oh, my
costumes,
gosh.
Your master bedroom, a separate shower and a separate bathroom,
and they all close off into individual rooms.
Oh, my gosh.
And
how long did it take you to design this?
Well, the basic unit, I bought it as a basic unit. I knew what I was looking for. And when I saw this, it's a Winnebago
Willie
Landon.
Nelson, yeah.
The Landon is like the top of the line, which I'm sure I wouldn't settle for less, right?
Never.
But the concept
was
nice because
did he get it from Willie Nelson, or didn't he diss somebody by saying that like George asked him maybe they could sell it to another person who's famous, and he suggested Willie Nelson, and Jimmy Sturr said that Willie Nelson couldn't afford to buy the kind of buses that he bought?
dining area collapses and we're not really using it for a dining area. You know what I'm saying? So there's no wasted space.
That's right, because you don't cook too often.
No. I showed this to my conductor and I was showing him the oven. I says, look, it's brand new. And he looked at me and with his nice conservative way, he says, and hon, I'm sure it's going to stay that way. He says, see this microwave? Just make sure that's working. We have a microwave, built-in central vacuum cleaner.
A motorhome with built-in central vacuum cleaning.
2 air conditioners. And it's really, you know, it's nice.
Oh, my God. She's sweeping the carpeting.
As a matter of fact, you know, sometimes I use it. Again, it's an office on wheels. That's basically what I bought it for because of my schedule.
You take fun trips in it, too?
Well, I'm going to. Hopefully next week I'm going to take, 3-4 nights in it. I'm going to take a couple of my grandchildren.
Hey, mindful
and just
exposures.
Go off and see if I can really rough it, But I'm not used to the small bathrooms, and I like my big
Conductor
tubs
Judy.
to soak. And
well, I know you're capable of roughing it. I can see that, right?
I couldn't remember conductor when I was talking to Judy, and I was like, you were a great captain?
No,
yeah, well,
we're on location with the princess.
Right. For me, it's rough. You're noticing my watch, George.
I'm noticing your watch. Yes, I am.
Would you like to see?
Yes, your.
It's my camping watch.
Your camping
George.
watch.
It even runs. Not only does it look good, but it runs too.
Yeah, it sure does look good.
It's my camping watch, my camping shoes, my, dress down t-shirts, not
I think Rodney Dangerfield would say when you buy that watch, you get a free bowl of soup.
too much, just a little to make a little statement. Across my sunglasses.
That's more than a little statement. It's an entire speech.
Hey,
I like
Hurricane.
that, George. You're very good.
Hey, that's why I get the big dollars.
Oh, well. Isn't it a shame to take the...
When I was walking up to Judy, I was like, "Oh man, I was so out of it. I was so blazed." And like I was like, "Shit, my mind's not working." But then I started talking to her and I realized that either she was also blazed or was just like completely checked out also, so like it ended up being a pretty okay conversation.
the money and have all this fun, huh?
I know. There's something wrong with this business, isn't
Do you
there?
remember the last time you came to my home and did an interview and we were showing the doghouse with the music note on it and the dog started barking? So one thing about your shows, we always have authenticity.
That's right. We're live on location.
We're live on location.
You know, Carolyn, on our way down here to the campsite, and by the way, once we arrived at the campsite, we had no problems finding you at all. Not a problem. Doug, who was running camera, we swung by your house, and I told him, when I drive up the street, you point out the house that belongs to Carolyn Lee, the Polish princess.
Did he guess?
Without a doubt. There were other houses until he saw yours that were questionable. But once he saw yours definitely stands out in this area.
I know. I think my neighbors are using this as a selling tool if they decide to sell their home. You know, Carolyn Lee lives on this street.
Oh my God! Can you? Oh boy. Okay. So the fact that Carolyn Lee lives in your neighborhood with her gaudy ass 6-ton concrete piano-shaped barbecue is going to add property value.
Property value goes up.
Yeah, the value goes
and you get a commission, right?
Well, no, not yet.
Yeah, Judy was really nice. I was just so out of it, like I couldn't really. I feel like but I can always go back. Oh, I'm sure I will, because I want to go back there. The baby chickens will be available soon.
Working on it. Actually, the heck with the commission. I'm just very happy that they don't throw me out of the neighborhood. You know, I mean, we have some.
Hey, Shay Ambrose.
Here.
Well, you do get along with your neighbors.
Oh yes, yes. Actually, I was one of the first ones in this neighborhood. You know, so I sort of feel.
I feel like everybody that I talked to at the library was pretty nice. That Asian guy was cool. Did you see whenever I told him I was lost finding the train? And then later on, I passed him while I was on the train, and I let him know that I had, in fact, found the train.
Well, I have seniority. I can pull rank at this point. They remember me when I was a struggling young mother with, 2 little kids.
Before you were a star.
Yes, before I was a star. You know, I've only been doing this now.
Before I was a star.
And
that's amazing. You've come a long way in 5 years.
I know, and I'm hoping now I'll go even a longer way with this thing on the highway, touring the country.
I'm wearing my
I'm sure it's bound to get attention.
NWO
and people bound to
shirt
ask questions.
So where can we know you're going to be at, or you're negotiating to be at Trump Castle?
Yes.
And we know about your tour to Florida.
Wait a second.
What other upcoming appearances?
Joe Shabatoni, Trump reference.
Can we expect to see you?
Well, I don't know when this will be aired, but I'll mention it anyway. I'm doing my 4th year at Carnegie Hall, October 4th.
Well, that's an annual event.
Yeah, well, it's my last year, though.
After that salute you gave them last year.
I know, and they got me inducted into the Carnegie Hall archives. I figured it would either get me thrown out or,
made
but
it
they
into the
invited
archive.
me back, so I'm really
so
pleased.
That's an honor in itself.
It is an honor, but next year I will not be there because we are under negotiations with some major places in Las Vegas. You know, I just came back from Las Vegas, and I was a featured entertainer during Liberace Week. And the reviews are coming in.
A young Jedi Rich actually fornicated with Carolyn Lee several times back in the day in Vegas.
Now to my office, and they are phenomenal.
That's why he has such great musical talent. He studied under Carolyn Lee.
So because of this...
I like how you put that. They are phenomenal.
That's right. You notice that? A little play on words there. And what we've done
are we good or are we good?
What we've done is we've put them all down on a sheet of paper, and we've mailed them all out to these big casinos and showrooms and everything, and wow, we're getting attention everywhere in the country. So after that, we have a fall foliage show in Merrimack in October. November, we'll be right in your backyard. November 18th, we're going to be at Shea Joseph in Agawam. And of course, December will be Atlantic City, hopefully. The contract's not in yet. But when I go to Florida, I start out in West Palm. Oh, we're going to meet the entertainment director at Epcot.
Hard out here for the
Disney
Jedi.
World in January. We're not playing there, but we're working on it.
Uh-oh, so I'll get to see you in a pair of little ears.
Oh, boy.
Right?
Look, you're going to fit right in with the costumes.
I know, but mine will stand out a little bit more than this. And then we go into West Palm. We do a show in West Palm. From there, we go to Fort Lauderdale area, which is Pompano Beach. And then we go, I've been booked by the Naples Dinner Theater for February 1st. And now we're under negotiation in St. Petersburg, Florida for the Venice Vaudeville Theater.
The Venice...
Vaudeville Palace of St. Petersburg. That's what it is. It's some dinner theater showroom anyway. And that's under negotiations. And then we come back again and we'll be a Marlboro Massacre Valentine's
Under
show
negotiations.
2 days after we arrive home. And
this is Carolyn Lee basically telling George Dorunda that she's going to Miami soon to be on Fresh and Fit.
And what happens after that? March, I do my next recording because I just cut a new recording.
You have a new album out?
Yes, a new one. It's called Presenting Carolyn Lee. And it was recorded live with the applause and all that. There were none of the fun comments, none of the comedy comments, but it is a new album.
Well, they have to buy the tickets to get that, right?
That's right. It's like people say to me, where's your grand piano rings and where's your candelabra rings? You know, those that know me. And I say, oh, no. You have to pay to see those, you know.
Oh, wow.
Or watch Prime Time.
I'll watch Prime Time, right.
Now, Carolyn.
Microtransaction queen.
Last year we did pool glitz. This year it's camping glitz. What can I expect for next year? What kind of glitz are we working on?
Bugs.
Well, bugs, that's part of camping.
Wow, Sharon Stone.
I expected to see your sequin-covered can of
Never thought I'd be staring straight down that
after
highway.
You scan the motorhome and look through, you know, I do have
This interview certainly isn't long enough. I agree.
Camping.
Yeah, it's like a sequin sweater and stuff like that.
Well, like when it gets cool at night.
Oh, yeah, you have to have, you got to do it right, George. You create this image, you know. Now, when you told me you wanted to come down and do this interview, and I said to you, well, what should I wear? Right away, what do you expect?
I expect full glitz.
Okay.
For the
occasion.
occasion.
Camping watch, camping rings,
for the
camping
occasion.
shoes, camping sunglasses. So it's like you have to, a lot of people do know me, and I have to keep this image going, which is very expensive, George. Very,
I can only imagine.
But it's a lot of fun. I don't know what we're going to do next year, but I'm sure I'll think of something.
Oh, maybe you'll have your own plane by next year.
Oh, I don't know.
With Carolyn Lee written on the side?
Yeah. Hey, Trump did it. Maybe I could do it too.
Well, after you perform for Trump and...
Yeah, who knows, right? Who knows? Maybe he can help me invest in a helicopter or something, right? But anyway, it's always a little
Carolyn Lee wants Donald Trump to buy her a helicopter. Okay, Carolyn.
A lot of fun doing this.
And once again, it's always a pleasure doing these unusual interviews, for lack of a better word. With the unique and talented Carolyn Lee.
Thank you. And unpredictable. See, that's
totally unpredictable.
Right, and that's probably...
She's bizarre. She's totally unpredictable.
So funny, crazy lady, but that's okay. But, at this time, really, I have a huge, huge base of supporters from your area, Chicopee, Holyoke, Springfield. At this time,
I hope Prime Time has been part of building that base.
It has.
I know you're mentioned all the time when I walk the streets of Greater Chicopee. And we saw her. She was on your show last night, even in the reruns.
And really, well, that's great. I'm really happy to hear that. And we're always looking to expand our mailing list in every area. So again, if
the number again.
The number, if you wish to get on our mailing list and find out about the real Carolyn Lee, is 1-800-242-SHOW. And that's Royalty Productions, which is my company. Speak slowly, though. Leave that name and address and phone number if you like, and we'd love to keep you abreast of what's happening.
Well, Carolyn, thanks again for being on the big show. And stick around. We'll be back with more primetime wackiness right after this.
Hey! More wackiness. When did the wackiness start in this one? Where in the world is Carolyn Lee at?
When I first got my license, every time I left the house, my parents would say, remember to buckle up, dear. But I never did. Just didn't seem too cool. Besides, most of the time I was only going around the block. You know how parents are. Always telling you what to do. But you know what? I wish I'd listened. I really do.
What was that place that she was at? I thought she was going to be at like a really nice resort area. That looked like a homeless encampment.
Amazing. You can find almost anything in a toy store. Yes, we have our Burger King set, and the amazing thing about this, it contains more nutritional value than the actual items themselves if you purchase them in the restaurant. Hey, but it's time for our Grammy Award-winning talent, 6 Grammys to be exact. It's the Jimmy Sturr Band.
Oh, no. Thousand Trails. That's what Thousand Trails is going to look like once it's once they've lost all their working capital to the Thorpes. I'm just saying Carolyn Lee is like really prides herself on like being above the rabble, so I'm just surprised she's not at like a better looking place. Once again, Jimmy Sturr just with his little thing, whatever that thing is. Oh boy. Sixteen-time Grammy Award winner. Or something like that, some crazy amount. Are you talking about Tumor Head Jimmy?
Well, that just about wraps up our visit to Toys R Us here on Primetime. We've had too much fun. I'm going to be playing with my Lego Zoo set. The Board of Health has ordered us off the air. Good night, everyone.
Duplo. Yeah, I think the singer and the fiddle player are good. Jimmy really brings nothing to the band. Carolyn's Dirty Encampment. We need to send that guy from Rebel News here, Little Gaza. Thank you to Toys R Us in Springfield, Mass. Wow.
You may not think the gas you can save makes a difference, or the amount your whole neighborhood can save, or even your whole town. But when you see how much gas America can save every day, when we all drive just 5 miles per hour slower, it's easy to see how the little bit you can do makes a lot of difference. President
Really
Bush
adds up,
hopes
I
you'll do
guess.
your part.
I think
Drive
we've seen
smart.
that one before. I don't remember it anyway. All right, I gotta go. Thank you for hanging out, watching some more Prime Time. Hopefully, we'll be back on a normal schedule for next week. Hopefully, I'm hoping to do another IRL on Tuesday, just depending. It'll be an interesting one, hopefully. But I appreciate you hanging out.